So I was working out of a community space called Urban Arts, right? I was a part of a group, and the group I was a part of, one of the guys was a facilitator of the community space. So they would develop artists there, and one of the artists that was being developed was J Soul. J Soul now was someone that soaked up everything we did, like he sponged, you know? And by the time he was ready to create a project, right? He made the project and he came to the studio and said, he played it for us actually. He came to the studio, he played it for us. And I was like, yo, bro, like, you know, this is crazy. Like I never heard anything like this, especially from you, right? And he ends up dropping the project. You know, Birdman, it gets to Birdman hears it. He comes back to the studio and says, Birdman wants to sign me, right? Birdman ends up getting him a flight 2 days later. He goes to Miami, signs the contract, comes back. When he comes back to the city, Birdman tells him, bring your team. And Birdman ends up buying our tickets and we end up flying to Miami, and that's how I met Stunner.
So, you know, you're in the presence of, you know, Stunner, 5-star general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Explain like the lifestyle and everything that you've seen on that trip.
It was crazy. So like, when we first got down there, we didn't even hit the studio the first time. We were just in the hotel, just planning out like our days and what we're gonna do. And I guess it was like the second night down there, we went to the studio and we ended up meeting Birdman. So when we get there and he records at a spot called a Hit Factory, right? Hit Factory in Miami. So we get there, we go through the gates, and Stunner wasn't even there first. Like, we're just there vibing, making music, and one of my dogs came through, and he came through and he's like, yo, Stunner's here. He just pulled up. And in my head, I was like, damn, am I ready to meet Stunner right now? Like, you know, I kind of got a bit of anxiety, to be real with you. I went into the washroom, looked myself in the mirror, like, yo, you're ready, you got this, whatever, you know? Got out the washroom, I walked out, I saw him, and the greeting that Stunner gave me made me comfortable. He looked at me and he said, hey, yo, what's up, gangster? And I hailed him, and from there, it was clutch stitch. Like, the whole time, he was giving me packs of loud. It's like, yo, nephew, you want drinks? And nephew, you want GTV? You know, like, hospitality was blessed. We ended up going to the club, went to the club in the bus that they ride in. When we get out of the bus, everyone's like, screaming, like, you know, looking at us all like we're all celebrities and shit. Like, it was like an experience of a lifetime. Like, I would never forget that.
For sure.
You know? And we went to the Paris Hilton party. Paris Hilton was there. I was in the club with him, Jeremiah. Diddy was across the other side. You know, it was just vibes. Like, it was just good energy, good vibes. Like, I won't forget it, bro. It was lit.
Nah, I hear that still. Toronto niggas in Miami living it up. Nah, you representing still.
Yeah.
I hear that. So, you know how your man signed with, you know, J Soul signed with Birdman, and, you know, there's a lot of rumors about Birdman not paying his artists, not taking care of his artists. So when he was doing that deal, did you kind of pull him to the side and be like, yo, fam, I know you've heard what everyone's saying about this man. Like, are you sure?
Not at all. You know why? Because as a kid, watching Cash Money growing up, those guys couldn't do no wrong. But when man said Birdman wants to sign me, it's like, are you kidding me? Like, yo, let's go see Stunner right now. Like, I wasn't nervous about him not paying. I wasn't nervous about any of that. I was just excited that that's an opportunity that we all had.
So, you know, out of that opportunity, was anything fruitful? Like, you know what I mean? Did you learn anything? Did you meet other people? Did you make connections? Like, what did you specifically get?
I met Birdman's son, Brian Jr., you know, we connected, we played pool at the house, you know, we vibed, everything was blessed. I was saying in another interview that Birdman's son slapped me in pool. You see what I'm saying? He was really good. I wasn't good at pool. I got better though, you know? But yeah, we played pool, whatever, we vibed, we followed each other on Instagram, and ever since then we stayed connected, you know, everything was blessed. And I met Gutta because Gutta was outside playing basketball in the parking lot. He was there with Lil Twist. And I walked outside and seen these niggas playing basketball, and I'm like, yo, since I'm like not from Miami, let me go there and introduce myself. Right. Not knowing it was them. I didn't even know because their backs were turned. Then I walk up to them, and then Gutta turns around And in my head, I'm like, oh shit, it's gutter, like, you know? And then he's like, I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm Swiss.
Yeah.
He said, gutter. I said, bro, I know who you are. Like, you know? And we vibed and everything was blessed. Like, it was a good vibe, man.
That's hard. Yo, so you know how that deal, we're about to get off this topic, but you know how on that deal, it kind of didn't really pan out for J Soul. You know, he signed it, got that initial hype, and then he went quiet. I believe he's off that deal. And I think it was Cash Money via RCA. I feel like they didn't really know what to do with him. So, you know, in hindsight, how do you feel about how that played out, and what are some things that could have been done better?
To be honest, I can't really speak on that because I don't know what they were going through personally. I don't know what was going on with their deal either. I just knew he was signed to Birdman. See what I'm saying? So I couldn't really tell you about that because if I did, I'd be lying.